That was quality.
We had the best. It was the best.
Yeah, we missed the other
You had
generations.
some pretty good
missed
Pizza
this.
Hut commercials
Yes,
too.
everything was quality. Like commercials were entertaining because we had to watch them, so people are like, "Ah, let's make them
Oh yeah,
entertaining."
you gotta make it good.
Yeah. Now it's just stupid shit. Like these chefs making. I don't even know what the hell he's doing on this. You put a flour on a piece of fish.
It's literally a lily pad on salmon.
What's happening? You got some dude in a green suit saying some shit.
100%.
It's a freaking. It was a medicine commercial. Like it was a pharmaceutical commercial.
This
No,
may
it's-
cause blindness, anal seepage, heart attacks,
I thought that was like a restaurant.
dysentery. Like, oh my God, what is this?
I think I'm gonna take that.
need to.
My mental health is that bad. I think
You
I
think
might
it was bad?
risk seizures.
I mean, how easy would it be though? I mean, you just go on to WebMD and you talk yourself into anything. You've literally I've got everything. Apparently, you've got hemorrhoids. Apparently, you've got like colon cancer, a sore
100%.
throat. I got strep throat somehow. I have a
Yeah,
headache. My ears are bleeding, even though they're not.
Yeah.
I can't do it
for
man.
sure. It's terrible.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know what kind of vibe you're going for. You
No, I
didn't
like
give
it.
me a vibe
I
check.
like the vibe.
Okay.
I like the vibe. I miss this. I remember the mornings when we'd lift and you always be like, yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to get up, dude.
It
It's
is.
so
I've
fun.
been going at night the last couple days.
I need to do that. I could have done it this week. Well, not really. I couldn't have done it yesterday. There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
I thought about going in the morning beforehand, but I was like, I don't know. That's a lot. Dude, I was on the road for like 7 hours.
It's a long haul.
long driving day. But anyway,
Boys, we've got the NBA on TV.
NBA.
Did you hear about the news today?
Yeah.
That's
Which news?
it's a rhetorical question. I know you guys heard about it.
The non-football season news. So Marshall didn't hear it. He didn't know.
Yeah, it's football season. What the fuck are you talking about?
So was anybody like? I don't know how you guys heard about it. I'm sure you're the same way as mine. The phone went ding, and it
yeah, I
said,
saw the notification.
I think it was
this
Chauncey
morning.
Billups, the first one that I saw, and it was like Chauncey Billups
And
arrested.
immediately, like 30 minutes after you sent that in the group chat, Terry Rozier
Yeah.
pops up, and
Yeah,
then you find out that they're involved in that with 4 crime families in the mafia.
yeah. One is I didn't even know the mafia was still a thing.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
They're still doing
you had
things.
It's insane.
Gambino, and I forget the other 3.
Yeah, yeah. That's insane. Like, I mean, you know they're a thing, but like I didn't know they were operating on this level. Kudos to them for that, I guess. But
Well, the fact
They
that,
survived this long.
you know, you've got Terry Rozier that's been investigated for years. So okay, how long has this man been
Yeah.
involved in this and throwing games?
yeah,
And you know, you've got ex Cavs coach Damon Jones that's in high stakes betting,
yeah,
illegal betting, where poker games where the mafia would set these tables up and have some sort of way to know what the cards flipped down were. And oh, hey,
Yeah.
Damon, no, let's fold, buddy.
Yeah. This is wild to me because it's not just sports betting. It's just what you said there. It's like
Yeah.
it's sports betting. It's all kinds of stuff, and it's gambling, card games. You know, looking at cards and why. Like I was reading about not only is Chauncey Billups being investigated for what he's done on the court as a coach and substitutions and things like that, but he was part of the poker stuff too, where he was getting calls, fed to him by the mafia because they're looking through infrared or cameras or whatever, seeing the cards, and like this is wild.
It's wild. It's wild that you think you'd have professional athletes or folks affiliated with these leagues that would be involved with that. I mean, we talked about it, before we started recording here, that it's not like these guys don't have money or at least have access to it.
Right.
But man, it's that greed factor, I guess.
Do you think any of them got involved in a way to where they couldn't get out? I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes in
that-
this stuff you can get trapped, but
Yeah, that was my thought just now, Marshall. A little bit was, did they get involved where they got trapped, or do they have blackmail on them? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, what do they
Yeah.
have? Because Chauncey Billups, Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
He's not broke. He's not a guy that's gone broke, right? He's been making millions. Even if he lost his player money, he's making millions now as a coach. He's gainfully employed. So like outside of being a gambling addict, which this
Allegedly.
this goes beyond being a gambling addict in my mind. Like this isn't just like you're just throwing money at because you can't stop gambling. You've linked up with the mafia to let's fix some poker games, let's shave points, or let's fix games. Or
yeah, Damon Jones giving inside information on LeBron. Hey, old boy's gonna be injured.
Yeah, it makes you think: did they get stuck somehow? Like they got stuck, they owed him something, or in a similar, like I just said.
Plus,
you got to be were they caught doing some shit with their pants down?
Plus, Rozier just signed a $26 million contract.
Right.
Like, let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
Well, how do you? Yeah, I mean, how do you get yourself into it? And you talk about, do they have anything on them? Well, once you're involved, they got you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They got you by the balls because at that point,
You do it one time, they got
And who's to say these guys didn't try to get out? And that's when that's why this is all coming to light. I mean, you just never know. You never know why that stuff's hitting the fan. But anyway you slice it, it calls a lot of stuff into question. I mean, what did they say? There's like 4 teams that have had games, at least from what the FBI said, games that were impacted by what happened here.
Yeah.
And we know that that Charlotte was part of that. We know the Trailblazers. We know the Lakers. And I think what was the Heat? Heat was the other one. Those were some primetime games. How much money was on the line for that?
Well, you've got one alleged source that was given information to the FBI that didn't start this whole thing, but was a main contributor of like, hey, something's fishy going on, where this dude in Vegas lost $1.7 million.
This is insane.
And that's been confirmed.
But yeah, you know what is not, it's insane, but it's also not surprising. We also talked about this earlier. We talked about this last year on this podcast, not necessarily specific to any one NBA team or one NFL team or player, but like how easy it is to be able to do something like this. Like, and I think in the NBA specifically, like I think it's has to be a little bit more coordinated than say like the NFL, because the NFL, like we talked about in this podcast, is you could tell a kicker, what's the spread, go miss that kick, or make sure that's wide right or whatever. You can kind of fix it that way and be a little bit more under the radar. The NBA, I think, has to be a little bit more coordinated. Is like, hey, get that player out the game. Or
well, it's always been, since maybe even prior to the 70s. That's always been the first thing the mafia will go to is basketball and sports betting.
Yeah.
And
there's less people. Yeah.
Yeah. And, plus how this looks on the NBA.
Oh, it's terrible. I mean,
the fact that they investigated Rozier and had released.
Yeah, no, you're good.
And you're good, bro.
Go ahead, man.
You're good, man.
FBI's like,
nah,
what?
we're good.
Then we stop.
Yeah, could you imagine
I can't imagine them right now. You got to be scrambling.
Because I'm sure like their security team or their investigative team or whatever they call it, they're probably ex-FBI agents or ex-whatever in some way or shape or form.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're running that high level, they'd have to be ex something.
Maybe they don't want. Maybe they don't want things to be uncovered.
Well, of course they don't want things to be uncovered, Mike.
And I think they've just scratched the surface with this too.
This is
I've
just
got
the tip.
feeling there's going to be a lot coming out.
This is the tip of the iceberg, boys.
So what happens if again, this is conjecture. This isn't like we don't have any insider info. But what happens if a LeBron's involved? If a KD? If a Steph? What if SGA's got something going? I mean,
then it doesn't matter what they do in their career, what they've done. I mean, so Billups and Rozier are already indefinitely out of the NBA.
Yeah.
And they're going to have their day in court.
Oh, yeah.
And they may see federal prison on this.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Years behind Joe. If it goes that way.
I mean, you got to figure they'll plea down, but man,
it's deal making time though. Like in this, and a lot of times when law enforcement comes out like this, it's a show of like to everybody out there that we kind of have loose material on. We're not effing around, right? And,
something,
right? And so we're gonna take down the biggest thing we have, which honestly, like, Chauncey Billups, but that's a pretty big Terry Rozier. That's a pretty big fish.
It puts his whole career into question now.
Yeah.
Because, a part of this poker scheme and whatever,
right.
there's also potential games thrown. There's point shaving. Like all of that
Absolutely.
is tied into this.
Yeah.
Now I will point to those Malik Beasley fans out there. Today's case that popped on October. What's today? The 23rd of 2025. Malik Beasley's not a part of today's cases. His case is separate.
But
He's
Is it,
been
though?
kind of cleared by the FBI, waiting on the NBA's investigation. But I mean, maybe his stuff revamps back up. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
well, you just don't know. All it's going to take is one of these guys that they flip and start
Oh, if,
Yeah.
I'm,
spilling the beans.
if I'm Chauncey, I'm squealing like a pig, man. Like, I mean, yeah, you know, you're
He's
just
screwed.
Yeah, you're screwed. So
I mean, his career's over.
it's all.
Oh, yeah,
it's not even just
100%.
his career. I mean, if
They're-
you have multiple charges, including colluding with the mafia, and I don't know what that means. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a federal prosecutor, but in my mind, he could potentially be facing years in federal prison. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna say names.
I mean, how many years did Donahue do? I mean,
It's a handful.
close to 10.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a handful of years. I mean,
Federal max prison.
yeah.
well, he wasn't in a maximum
And
security.
it calls.
he was in a resort.
I was testing you.
But back to Marshall's
still.
point, it calls into question Chauncey's entire career, because if you were doing this now, were you doing that then, and how connected were you? Because if you're doing it at this level, you're connected, right? And I don't just mean the mafia. I mean with officials, with managers, with people around you that insulate you. You have to be. You can't just be doing this on your own. Obviously, he wasn't. He's working with Terry Rozier. So you've got two of you. Loose lips sink ships. So you got to have like a thing going. There's a coordinated effort beyond the two of them. Maybe there's officials involved, which
Oh, yeah.
the Donahues of the world. You know, maybe there's
precedent.
maybe there's league officials above that have, you know, like glossed it over and allowed it to go on. You know, what does this mean for the NBA as we go forward?
I think you would expect that the NBA would come out and have some sort of statement or be ready for this. Or I think the FBI probably did him no favors, probably intentionally. It didn't
Yeah.
give him any kind
So
of heads up.
according to Shams Charania of ESPN, he's one of the biggest NBA insiders for ESPN. ESPN and himself found out, you know, between 11 and 12 midnight last night, and same with the NBA. Like the NBA had their portion of what they knew, but they didn't know that to what extent the FBI, they hadn't released shit to the NBA.
I mean, have they even?
They didn't know the names until today.
I don't think they've made any statements. I mean,
No.
I haven't seen anything. And
Nothing's come out from the NBA just yet.
Yeah.
And if I'm Adam Silver, I'm sweating bullets right now.
Adam Silver needs to do himself a favor and resign. Like, you know, I don't know how
He may have to.
I don't know how it works. I'm sure the board of directors or whatever, the NBA operates, could fire him. I don't know how long that would
Me
take.
personally, I think a little bit more would have to come out. But yeah, I mean, this is.
If I'm him,
this does not look good.
If
for the
I'm him
NBA.
and I care about this league whatsoever, this is terrible, and you need to step down. You need to step down, because that would show that, okay, I'm serious about this, whether I played a role in it or not as a commissioner. It happened under my leadership, and I want you to. The faith needs to somehow be restored and continue to be in the NBA. So I'm going to step aside and let somebody else do it.
Well, you know, you've got so much that's now against you as
Yeah.
the commissioner, and we've talked about some of the areas that they've completely screwed up. I mean, the whole, and again, you can blame like Derek Morey for everything that fell through with China and all that crap, and you know the fact that they weren't able to really get the expansion there they wanted. But you've got a trail of just some bad decisions. I've never heard of the NBA officials being under this much scrutiny for just how, I mean, they're bad.
Yeah.
It's bad officiating.
Yeah.
The WNBA, which is essentially, you know, it's part of the NBA. I mean, for all
Yeah,
intents
it
and
is.
purposes.
It's funded by the NBA.
Yeah, but I mean, it's their pet project. That's what
Yeah.
it is. And there's serious questions about that and the officiating and what's there.
It's
and the complete
terrible.
I mean, listen, this is so big that I will be surprised if the owners don't come out and say we've got to do something. Something has to happen. You've got to do something. That's the only way he gets canned, as the owners say, because I mean they control everything with it. They have to all have a majority or whatever
Yeah.
and kick them out. If I'm an owner, you got to get the hell out, dude. Like we
Well,
got a clean shop.
you have the most
clean up.
damaging that's already come out, knowing that Rozier is a part of this.
Yeah.
And the NBA literally cleared
Cleared him.
this man
Yeah.
and had his cell phone and had all
Yes.
this stuff. and they literally cleared him. And
Yes.
here's the FBI swinging their big dick around.
Yes, like you're absolutely right,
Like,
Marshall. I
you
think that's
look
the worst.
so stupid right
It's
now.
not this because I guarantee that this shit's happening in the NFL. I guarantee this shit's happening in the NHL.
You already saw it in the MLB. You
We-
had the guy from the Pirates,
Right, we know it's
betting
happening.
on himself, and they lost
Right.
23 straight games.
Look, there's a guy going to be playing the World Series, and Shohei Ohtani who should be in
Yeah.
jail.
Yeah.
We know it's happening in the MLB. We know it's happening in every. sport.
Now, hold on. It was his interpreter who was using his money in his hometown making these bets. He knew nothing
while
about
he's
it.
playing the game, and the
Nothing
game
about
actually
it.
suddenly changes. Why the whatever.
You know.
Anyway, it's not just to the NBA. It's happening. I can guarantee you, it's happening. We just don't know about it or can't prove it in every sport. But to Marshall's point, the ineptitude of the NBA investigating Terry Rozier and clearing him, and then for him to get arrested, I don't think you can come back from that.
What's the one thing in something like this that you don't want happen? You don't want to look like a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
And we're not even a full day into this, and the NBA looks so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, this is opening week. We just had the season just kicked
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
It kicked off 2
Literally,
days ago.
Portland
Yeah,
played a
this is-
game last night.
This is worst case scenario. Like if the
This is horrible.
if the NBA investigates Terry Rozier and comes out and goes, he was sports betting, we caught him, people will go, okay, like that's terrible. He was doing that, but you investigated it, you found it. We can trust in you to weed this out. But no.
And
When-
the sad thing of him doing that is there's major implications into every franchise, any college he was a part of. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know how far this go. Could this go all the way back to his days at Louisville?
Right.
Did this start in Boston?
Well, and that's a good point, Marshall, because now that money is more, you can easily pay college athletes now.
Oh yeah.
So
Nothing
now-
gets under the table.
So now it is like, which kids are coming up that already have the hooks in them?
Right. And then you have
know.
you have high school that's trying in Ohio. They're
Yeah.
trying to pass for NIL, which is completely enraging. NIL
Well,
should not be a
well,
part
no,
of
no,
high school
it's-
athletics.
To be clear, they're trying the state tried to ban NIL in high school sports, and a judge
Well,
put a
the
hold on
the
that.
fact that it's even a thing.
Well,
should
they're
not
trying to get
even
ahead
be
of
a
it, and the
thing.
judge was like, "Now hold on." Now I'm less worried about like high school, but I'm really worried about the integrity of leagues and with gambling. And
Oh, but-
this was the concern.
This
Well-
is but this is a systemic thing, and
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about the gambling. I'm talking about money involved in sports because I mean it starts in the AAU circuits. You've got these kids that will show up that play for a Nike team. They show up. They have to put on the Nike gear. They can't play on the court unless they're wearing the Nike gear. They will then go swap teams, put on the Adidas gear, play in the Adidas circuit. They're starting to get paid, and it's like this. It creates this thing, right? It creates this thing around these players, especially when you think about where the majority of these players come from, which you pointed out earlier off the podcast, Mike. Where they come from nothing, and then all of a sudden you're in these AAU circuits that people will actually pay you to play.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not necessarily money. I'm sure they probably are getting it under the table, but you're getting free gear, you're getting free travel, you're getting free, and then now all of a sudden you're getting agents in the ear, and then you probably are getting the mafia in your ear, and you're probably getting this, and these kids are probably 16, 17 years old, and then you get into, okay, now I'm getting recruited, and you can actually now hand me money.
Oh, yeah.
And the mafia has found ways for years to be legitimate, right? From waste management to whatever, what unions, whatever they're doing, they found ways to get money to be legitimate that they can actually hand these kids.
Oh, yeah.
With a wink and a nod of like, hey, bud, this is from whatever company, but it's actually from the mafia or
You know
whatever.
it's from. You know it's
And then now you have this kid from the age of 16, 17 years old that now walks in the NBA at the age of 2021 that's got years of this shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe you missed those.
Well, and
maybe you missed a couple shots tonight. I don't know.
Well, and
Take care of your Uncle
Or I'll
Tom.
visit your
Well,
mom.
and the sad thing is
You
you're
know?
Hate for anything to
you're-
happen to your mom.
You're taking advantage of young men, young women
Yes.
who may not be, who may need that money. Maybe mom's
Absolutely.
struggling, working 4 jobs, and you don't have a dad, and you got to take care of your brothers and sisters because you're the oldest.
Yeah.
And look, if I was in that position, yeah, I'm probably taking that money.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen,
But
100%.
but then there's the repercussions you don't think about.
Not
That's
at that
years
age.
years after
you,
the fact.
And when your brain matures and you finally think of the repercussions, it's too late.
You know, it's
I-
the same shit that Jalen Rose and the guys ran into at Michigan.
Yeah.
You know, and they had all them sanctions come down
oh yeah,
for taking that money. But at the same point, I don't blame you in the situation you were in.
and
but-
NIL is going to clean up that.
yes, it
That's going to
does.
actually clean
And
up what happens in college. But
how many times have we said it where, you know, NIL and you're going to pay these kids this kind of money and they don't even know what's going on in their lives. They don't, you know, they're not to that decision making part of their life yet. You're getting paid all these millions of dollars and it's not even governed.
it's
It's not
not.
even like they need to have some sort of
They do.
like where this is contracts.
It's like the Wild West out there.
It is.
And then I also think about when you get to a certain point with some of these guys, especially when you come from that type of environment where it's been the Wild West, no one's holding anybody accountable, and then you finally get a ton of money. You know, okay, I was making good money doing this under the table. I was making good money now NIL, but now here's 30 million, here's 40 million. You know, do you get off a little bit knowing that like, oh, you know, I can do, you know what I mean? Is there a little bit of that excitement factor? Because once you have that much money, like what's exciting anymore, right? I've got 30 million, I got 100 million. What's exciting? Well, you know what's exciting? Fixing shit. Like I can actually control this. I can actually control this for these people, this group. I can fix it. That becomes like, that's the new game. It's not the NBA anymore. It's not the basketball anymore. It's controlling this shit and being a part of it. I feel like these guys maybe get off on that a little bit because when you're at that level, you can, you know.
well, you gotta get your juice somewhere. I think
Right.
that the thing that we have to look at here is the fact that if you're the league, you don't have any choice, but you have to go scorched earth. Anybody who's associated
Absolutely.
with this, any players are banned for life, any coaches banned for life, any of their agents
Yeah.
that were involved with this, any of that, they're banned from associating with the league. You have to go full scorched earth, and part of that means that Adam Silver, you got to go.
He's got to go.
He's gone. I would get rid of any number of different of his underlings that need to go, and you got to clean house. And if you're the owners, you got to look at this and say, the integrity, our cash cow is now being threatened by this because
Yeah.
people are going to games and they got in the back of their minds, is this legit?
Yeah.
You know, is LeBron that? Is he actually hurt?
Right.
We don't know.
You don't know. People, I mean, I heard it was a stupid, I mean, I don't think Miles Turner's had anything to do with it, but I was listening to Dockage earlier and it's like, well, Miles Turner's playing so terrible in the finals. Was he a part of something like this? You know what I mean?
I mean, it makes you wonder. It does.
warrants-
and that's what the NBA
It-
has right now, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
And this is why. This is
It's
why,
a
like,
legitimate question.
yeah, and this is why, like, baseball. This is, everyone was so mad at them with Pete Rose, and there's some legitimate, there's some legitimate gripes. But the thing to point out is that, like, you have to have a zero tolerance policy. You can't bet. You can't have anything to do with it because
We're
then
less than 2 minutes in and SGA shooting free throws. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
well,
interrupt
we do
Shocker.
have the game.
you.
on, but,
Anyway.
I think that the point is that you cannot have any questions about the integrity of your league. And where they screwed up is the officiating has gotten so bad that we've been questioning it for
Because
years.
they're in on it. I mean, like, my
mean-
point is I think the average salary in the NBA for an official full time, because they still have like part time officials in the NBA. Full time officials is like 200 and some grand, which somebody out there is probably going, oh, 200 and some grand. You're talking, these guys are traveling, they're busting their ass, they're on the road, like they're away from their families. Yeah, 200 grand is a good, decent living, but the amount of time that they're,
But think about it. If you're good at your job,
yeah.
you are doing that full time
Well,
from October
well, now-
to what, June? Because you're probably making it to the
And then-
playoffs,
yeah,
and
yeah,
if
yeah,
you're
for
lucky
sure,
enough
for
to
sure.
make
So-
the finals.
In fairness,
Don't correct me.
The entry level salary is around $250 a year.
Okay.
Experienced officials are about $500,000.
And that's good money. That is. And
Yeah.
but,
I mean,
but-
I'll take it. We're
But
signed
you're
up.
not going to tell me that I'm a $500,000 official, I control this game, and somebody comes out here and says, hey, a few calls go this way or that way, you make $500,000 a year, I'll give you $1 million tonight.
But also to one of our past videos, if you're making that kind of money and you have that kind of sway on games, especially in the playoffs
yeah.
or the finals where it truly matters, why aren't those guys in front of cameras answering to
Right.
answering
Why'd
to
you make
the-
this call?
Yeah.
Describe it to me.
It's
Yeah.
Like that has to
Explain
happen.
yourself.
That has to happen now after this. I know the officials aren't kind of a part of this, but they are. Like they are a part of this, and that I think things like that have to happen now. Is you need to break down, not in your stupid last 2 minute report that nobody reads. I'm talking instantly. Show you the play. Why'd you call that?
Well, I think what'll end up happening is I could see like the crew chief. You've got to be available for media. You need to answer questions. We need to explain what's going on. Either that, or the league has to be able to answer questions for it. This has to be a new era of accountability.
It has to be. And to your point, Mike, if Adam Silver doesn't step down within the next 2 weeks, that is a debacle in my mind for the NBA. There's no way you can go on for months on end with this guy still being the head of the NBA. You can't do it.
No, he's got to go.
The NBA's already been down. Like it's been down. People are losing favor with it. People have been saying it's fixed. They don't like the way the game's played. They don't like the calls. And then now you have some juice to that.
Well, you still have a huge part of people who will still pay attention but still want a rough and tough NBA.
Absolutely.
They don't want to see these Jalen Brunson, SGA push-offs, free throw merchants.
Yeah.
They want out of that era, and fans are tired of crap basketball, and it's been crap basketball for a very long time.
And this plays into that because it's like it's crap basketball because of these players fixing it, because of these officials fixing it. It's crap basketball because we've let this go on.
Oh, yeah.
And if you continue
Or because you believe in Miles Turner.
or because you believe in Miles Turner.
You like unfrosted Pop-Tarts. I mean, some people
Play
do.
with your cats. And
Yeah, I mean, some people do.
So like
Your Lego cats.
yeah.
so okay, so what does this mean for you guys? Like how do you guys view this for outside the NBA,
I again, it calls into question a lot, and people have been questioning. We jumped to the juggernaut of the NFL. People have been questioning the integrity of the NFL for years, and especially as it relates to what's happening with Kansas City. People questioned it with New England. Because,
Well, you had the Lions game, 2 weeks ago, where the NFL called in and was like, no, bro, it's going. The call's going this way.
they instructed them to call a penalty, which they're not allowed to do, which is questionable. But that's what they said. That's what Campbell had talked about, and that's apparently what happened. We've had questions about the league cooking, and where it shows up is in those judgment calls. It's the things that are not like, we talked about the Travis Kelce catch that wasn't a catch. I mean, that's not usually something you see where it's like there's some ambiguity with it. Usually it's like, oh, he didn't catch it. Okay, the league usually is on that.
Right.
It's the pass interference calls. It's the holding calls that happens on every play. And you're like, well, what the hell? Or the same thing we see with like SGA where he's allowed to push off, but the other team isn't.
Well, and the problem with like the NBA and the NFL to an extent, you can't foul out in the NFL. But the problem with the NBA is, tell me a game that LeBron's like recently fouled out of. Tell me a game that SGA has recently fouled out of. Tell me a game, Steph. I mean, just go down the list. Any of them.
Yeah.
And you're going to sit here and tell me they foul less than any average NBA player? They don't. And I get it. The reason they don't foul out, money. People want to watch LeBron. People want to watch Steph Curry. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same extent, when you go down that path, it's a slippery slope, right? It is a very slippery slope.
You got to call it straight. I mean, that's the whole thing we've always complained about with officiating is just call it straight. Whatever it is, it is. And, listen, I grew up as a Jordan fan, and I'm well aware Jordan got a favorable whistle.
Right.
But what these guys started getting really with, like, the Hardens and the KDs and the original, I would call them the original free throw merchants back in the day in the 20 teens and in that era, that's really where you got to look at it and say, listen, like at some point, I think they just need new blood in the league. They've got to get new leadership, and you've got to mix it up.
They need new leadership, but I would argue
We'll
that
jump back to the NBA. Sorry, but
no, that's fine. I would the NBA needs new leadership, but I would argue that the foundation that's being built underneath the NBA is not very helpful right now.
No.
The AAU circuit's effing terrible. As somebody that's very familiar with the AAU circuit, it is terrible. It is where this is festering and is where this is growing. And then now it's infected college basketball with NIL, and it is out of control right now because there is no governance over NIL.
It's out of control. I mean, look how many guys you have that will make a commitment to a school.
Yeah.
And football, basketball, doesn't matter. And will play for 2, 3 different schools or 4 different schools,
wild.
or if they had a COVID year, they're in their 6th or 7th or 8th year.
Yeah,
And
look.
every year's a different school. What's the point of a commitment?
Well, to your point, like, look, and I love IU.
What you should do is, if you're going to be a player that commits to a school and it's NIL related, and you decide to transfer, that money stays with the school.
Money stays with the school. Yep. I love IU. I love IU. There's no.
Or you're signing a contract that locks you into where you can't transfer for, say, 2 years.
I think to your point, though, is I love IU.
But it's a gray area.
I love what Signetti's doing. There's no IU and no Signetti or anything without NIL.
100%.
Like, it doesn't. It
100%.
doesn't.
The same's for South Florida. The same's for Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas Tech spent, what, $10 million on that roster? $15 million? Maybe even more. That's something insane.
Yeah.
You know, they've got 4 huge donors that are all within the oil industry. So Texas Tech's got crazy amount of money coming in from boosters.
Yeah.
28.
And it's like, as a
28,
fan.
sorry.
It's over
As
28
a
million.
fan, I'll take the wins. But those,
Jesus.
to me, if you look backwards,
And you lost to Arizona State, so trash.
if you look backwards, the wins meant more when you actually had to go out and find that coach, find that staff, recruit your ass off. And I get it. You'll come back and say, well, the money was always in the SEC and they were paying under the table and blah blah blah. I get it, but I still think it meant more. Like, if IU could have done this back when, it would have meant more than it does now. Because right now their roster's bought and paid for. Like, it is just and there's,
Look, you can buy your roster. We're in a crazy era where I'm saying that, but you can buy your roster, but it still takes coaches. To
Sure,
coach these
I
guys.
agree.
It still takes the right players to buy into a scheme, because you still have that with football. You still have guys. We see it in the NFL. Sam Darnold sucked for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Jets are toxic, but did he fit that system? And look what he did in Minnesota, and look what he's doing out in Seattle
same
right
way.
now. Baker's same way, exact same way. So, that still holds true in football, but it's a Wild West, and there's a huge gray area. And the fact that this gray area, the NIL, has gone on for so long, you're going to see it damage the sport.
Yeah, it's festering.
You've already lost the bowl games. The bowl games doesn't hold the same weight it did when we were kids growing up.
Gambling in sports is nothing new.
You're losing marquee rivalries in the traditionalist college
Mike's got
football
a counter for you.
because of NIL.
Yeah, to an extent. I mean, I think that the Bulls, good riddance to the Bulls, in my opinion.
Agreed.
They were corrupt organizations. They were nonprofits. It was a money laundering scheme. It was nonsense.
Agreed.
So the whole structure was ridiculous. And the fact that you'd ever have a situation where you had people saying, well, they're not the national championship. They're not the national champion. I am.
Right.
Just because we didn't get the right 2 teams lined up, because that's just the playoff is the way to do it. So I think that the route they've gone there.
No, the playoff's definitely the right way
it's
to do
it's
it.
the right way to do it. And I think that the good thing about NIL and what we have is that you get it all on the table. And I'm for that. I would much rather just because these things were happening. We know they were.
Well, it's better than Alabama winning 5 in a row or whatever bullshit's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's all out there. So at the very least, what's happening. You can see it. I think that where the leagues, where college sports has to get better, is you've got to have a structure behind it, and you've got to have accountability. And real accountability. Like, listen, I'm not coming after Michigan. I don't hate Michigan, honestly. They don't really do anything for me. I'd root for them over Ohio State, so there's that. But clearly, what they did with the sign stealing, they deserved a harsher punishment than that. It can't just be the guy who left is.
Hold on a second.
Well, it's the same reason why people question
Hold on.
Pete Carroll leaving USC in the early 2000s.
Because he cheated.
This is a different conversation,
jump
but
ship
I
for
don't
the
think
NFL.
sign stealing is cheating.
With the way they were doing it, that it's against the rules. At the end of the day, what he was doing and filming the opposing teams and going to other games and
you essentially
Is against the rules.
it's supposed to be a 50-50 shot of, okay, are we going to call the right coverage for what they're doing offensively?
And listen, I'm a purist.
And if you're sign stealing and you know what's coming in as it's coming in, you can do a quick check.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Bear 54 and your shit's ready and lined up and has it shut down because
I
the guys
still
know
don't think it's cheating.
you have an
Be
athletic
smarter.
you have an athletic edge. Yeah, talent talent will outweigh, but you'll still have, if you know what the guy across from you is doing before he even does. I mean,
I agree with
why was
that,
Luke
but-
Kuechly so great? And I'm not saying like he's a cheater or anything. I'm not going there with this. But why was Luke Kuechly so great at middle linebacker?
Sure.
It's because the dude studied his ass off. He knew what they were doing before they even did it. And 60% of the time, he called the offensive play
Well,
out.
I think in college football, and maybe this is to your point, Mike, is the way they did it. You can steal the signs by watching the game over and over and over and over and over on national TV. They went to the games and they flew around and they watched them. You could stealing signs is nothing new, and I don't think it's cheating. I think you need to be smarter about your signs.
To an extent, I mean, I'm a purist with it. In my opinion, I don't like even the baseball sign stealing. I think that if you have to resort to that as a team, it speaks negatively on you. And to me, even like the Patriots, I would look at their legacy as tarnished after what they've done, the cheating, the Spygate, and all the other stuff that, some of the things that they did. I would look at it and say, listen, yes, they're a great team. Yes, they had the GOAT at quarterback, which I do believe, but they also had an unfair advantage. And the same thing happened with Michigan. You had an advantage that nobody else had. There's other teams that are pretty high level with it. I think Georgia is one that's been called out. There's a few other ones that are like, they're doing something similar. But the whole point of all of this is it calls into question the integrity of the game.
Sure.
And you cannot have that as a league. You have to have zero tolerance. When it comes to the gambling piece, no tolerance. You caught gambling, you're done. You're banned for life. Everyone in your orbit's banned for life.
I agree.
Zero tolerance. You are done.
Yeah.
And you have to do the same thing when it comes to cheating. And you've got to come down hard.
I agree with you.
And coming back to the NBA, listen, you're not going to get it with Silver. You've got to go. Silver's got to go.
And I think and this is not fair, but every player in the NBA, and I know they agree to rules and they probably have certain checks. Every player in the NBA has to be investigated. Every single one of them. You have to fully investigate everybody. You have to just do a deep dive into everything, and you have to flesh it all out. If you don't do that, people are going to continue, and they're still going to continue to question, even if you do it. But you have to do it.
You gotta lean hard if you're going to be in bed with the gambling sites. And listen, I mean, it's more money in the sport. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but you have got to go the extra mile to ensure the integrity's there. Because how often have we all sat down here and questioned the integrity of what we're watching?
100%.
It has never been as bad as it has been in the last couple of years. As we've looked at, what's this guy doing? Like, that don't look right. Something's off.
Right.
Or, they're cooking. I've never said that. I've never said that more than I have in the recent years. Now, granted, there was some Patriots stuff where it's like, okay, hold on.
Look,
Well, I don't agree with it, but I mean, look how many games you had with Howie where he drops a 20 and 0 turnover game or
With
a
like
30
15
something point
assists or whatever.
and the very next
Yeah.
game it's absolutely dog, and we barely either squeak by or we lose. And the fact that we even have to question that, and we're fans of the Pacers.
I'm a fan of the Pacers. I'm a fan
All
of
of
Hallie.
us.
But a guy, and to your point, Marshall, and I'm not calling Hallie a cheater by any means.
Same.
But
I'm not either.
But to your point, it does make you question a guy.
But
of
it
your
raises an eyebrow.
A
We
guy
even
of your
discussed it.
a guy of your
It's a great
caliber
point.
and at your level, it is really hard to just disappear, like completely disappear.
Hey, this ain't even the 90s. I mean, even in the 90s, guys could get away with more. I mean, as we have talked about before, allegedly, Jordan didn't really retire. He was forced into, hey, you're going to have to a couple of years, bub, because all the gambling you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of that undercurrent. Now, it's never been proven, but the fact is that, there were questions. Guys in the 70s and 80s, man, it wasn't even televised most of the time. You get away with all kinds of stuff because nobody was paying attention.
They would smoke cigarettes and get them from the coaches
Right.
at halftime, drink beers at halftime.
Exactly. But the whole thing is that you could get away with more with being in bed and media, being in bed with the gambling sites and with the media being what it is and all these different deals. You have to, you've got to go the extra mile to prove the integrity of it. And I don't think they've done that. And I look at this and I am really disappointed with what there's no response.
100%.
You got to go scorched earth, man.
The fact that the NBA hasn't responded yet,
Well,
and this came out this morning.
I don't mind the non-response yet, but tomorrow.
Well, give a non-response. Even a non-response is a response to say,
Just
look,
say,
we're looking
hey,
into
we're
this,
wrapping
we're
our-
concerned.
Yeah.
We're wrapping our minds around this. We will come
Sure.
out, have a
Yeah,
formal statement.
I agree with that.
Put
Yeah.
something out there like this.
Yeah.
It's not like this just came out hours ago. This came out 12 hours ago.
We're concerned with how this make the league look. I mean, you can say
Right.
stuff without
Say something.
I feel. I mean, we're watching an NBA game right now, and nothing has been. I do agree with that. Like something. Like I don't expect a response in the fact of like this is what we're gonna do, and Adam Silver stepped down.
Right.
But
Agreed.
like something of like you just said. Like,
And from
Well,
where
maybe that's why he
and
hasn't said anything.
from where it's
Maybe
at right
coming.
and from where it's at right now, me personally, I would think a little bit more damaging to the NBA would have to come out in order for Adam Silver, you've got to step down. I think we are on the tip of the iceberg with that, but I feel like there's just got to be a little bit more.
The only thing I would disagree with you on that with is I agree with you on the fact of like maybe in this instance, if this was the only thing that was negative for the NBA right now, maybe it's not enough. But the NBA has been on a downhill trajectory for the past few
Agreed,
years.
and I feel like there's got to be a lot to change, and the fact that look how far behind they are when you look at things as far as the NFL, college football, golf, NHL. So many of those games have moved to streaming. And the NBA is literally
so far behind. They're just now testing the water with Amazon Prime. They're just now doing it. They're way behind.
They're late.
You got Amazon. They've got CBS.
Yeah.
I think they even have a small little deal with Peacock.
Yeah.
But the problem has been, and I'm not giving the NBA an out for this, but the thing I will say is that like there is a challenge for the NBA, for MLB, for hockey even, and that you can explore some other streaming, but the problem is that you've been in bed with the regional sports networks for so long, you had existing contracts, and the way it declined was so precipitous that nobody saw it coming. I mean, it just fell off the cliff.
Big words
I'm
on
sorry.
us.
But like
I don't even know what the fuck you just said.
but it was a massive drop, and I think the problem that you have now is all these regional sports networks are toast. I'm gonna have to pay $20 a month
just to watch Pacers.
I'm sorry. I
touch
see your lips moving, but I can't make out the words.
Marshall's
I'm still
lost now.
I'm 2 chapters behind, guys. Just keep it going.
He's looking up the word.
No, but it is ridiculous.
It's a country of origin.
Like it's what the FanDuel network or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, like you have to pay. Like the only reason you would pay $20 a month is just to watch the Pacers. There's nothing else you're going to watch on there.
Well, and we are all looking for it, and there's more, and I guarantee you, what's going to happen is you're going to look at a few big juggernauts. Amazon's going to get theirs. You're going to have Google involved with it, and those are probably going to be the 2 big ones that are going to be the source of all these sports. So as that happens, and there will be more money. I mean, they're going to pay money for it. The problem that you run into is that everything that we're seeing now, it's just going to be amplified.
Yeah.
Because now, again, I can see it anywhere. Even Netflix is going to get involved. What happens when I can hop on Netflix and I can watch NBA games?
Yeah, I mean, I think that stuff's coming, but the NBA is far behind. I mean, the NFL's already on Netflix.
Well, NFL's heads and shoulders above it.
I want to go back to your point, though. We kind of glossed over the fact like these sports entities, NFL, all of them, NBA are tied to the hip with like FanDuel and DraftKings.
Yeah.
What happened to conflict of interest? Like, what happened to that? There's a huge
money.
It's all money.
No, but that used to be the reason why there was a conflict of interest was the money.
It comes around tenfold, Bubby.
Like people understood I have to draw the line here because the money will make this a bad thing to do. And now we've just said F it, partner with FanDuel, partner with DraftKings.
They have to.
And it's just like there's probably other avenues.
This is the consumer's fault, and I'm going to get you there, but like it ultimately is our fault.
Well, what's the big thing you go to these games? What's the big thing that pops up on the board at some point during the game? NBA, football is where are their stats, and then here's everybody playing against the Colts and whoever the hell. And this is where they fare today versus all the other teams in fantasy points.
But the reason that you have to get in bed with that and you have to align with it is because the TV money it's not that it's going to dry up, but it's not what it was.
Sure.
It's not going to keep up with where the salary's at. The days of having these massive TV deals, I just don't think you're going to see it like that anymore.
No.
Because the networks are dying.
Well,
but how much is the deal? And this is, I know one knows this, but like they're exploring, but like the NFL on Netflix. I'm sure there's a shit ton of money. The NFL
absolutely.
on Amazon Prime.
Why do you think WWE got ahead of it, and then now Monday Night Raw is on Netflix?
Yeah, every Thursday night game's on Prime. Like that,
and Peacock has all their pay-per-view
Yeah, so
events,
that
and you
can't-
don't have to pay for pay-per-view.
I see your point, Mike, but I still think there's a ton of money. It's just different.
There's money to be made, but my point is that like where things become a problem is we talked about the regional sports networks.
Yeah.
The reason that like Indiana's stuck on FanDuel's garbage network. It just is. I mean, it's nothing really against them. It's just this is trash. I'm paying $20 a month for that. Even the Cubs. I mean, I'll pull out the Marquee Network. Like all you have are the Cubs.
Yeah.
That's it. And I got to pay $20 a month to watch
just to
that
watch the
for
Cubs,
the season.
just to watch name your team.
And
Yeah.
if you really want to know what's bad, if you look at the Chicago sports right now, it's completely screwed up. Where are you going to watch the Bulls or the Blackhawks?
Right.
I mean, there's the Chicago Sports Network is basically what it's called, and it's over the air. It's over the fucking air. That's how you have to watch it. How are you going to stream it?
Yeah, I just don't.
It's a mess.
I
It's a
honestly
mess.
don't. Yeah, you're right, and you know more than this than me, but I don't understand. And maybe it's because there's so many games, like why I can turn a Colts game on WTHR or CBS or whatever, and I can't do the same. With
It's one game. It's one game a week. It's the viewership is massive. We've talked about the declines with the NBA. If you are a TV executive, do you feel comfortable? I mean, do you feel comfortable buying NBA right now?
Not
I'm
right
selling
now.
the hell
Not
out of it.
today. Today,
I'm
I'm
selling
selling.
out of it.
But honestly, this is the time to buy because it's going down, and if you know
Yeah,
anything, you need to buy
I
in.
think give it a little bit. You got to let it bottom out. We got to get Adam Silver out of there.
Yeah.
It's got to be like
Let it-
everything.
yeah.
But the point is that there's so many games. It's the inventory isn't there. I mean, you're not gonna. There's a reason there's only one ABC game on, right? There's only going to be one NBC game on a week, right? Because the inventory isn't there. It's wrapped up in other areas. The regional sports networks, that's all you showed. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, I had was a Comcast Sportsnet Chicago was my channel because it had everything. It had my Blackhawks, it had Bears updates, it had the Bulls. Everything I wanted to watch was there.
Yeah.
And it's gone because it didn't make any money because people just stopped
and
watching.
then honestly, and that's what this gambling, what's come out today with Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups and the NBA, it's taking even more away from that.
Oh, yeah.
Because people have already been questioning, and then now it's even more like, yep, we already knew this. And you have big names. People know, at least our generation. I know who Chauncey Billups is. I know who he was. I know who Terry Rozier is. Like, I know these people.
I remember me and my dad sitting in the basement watching Billups when he was at Colorado.
Yes. This is not a nobody. Like, maybe these younger kids are going, Chauncey Billups, the coach of the Trail. This guy is a guy. He's a guy that we all grew up with. He's a guy that was legitimate. He's a guy that could ball out. He is a Hall of Famer. This is big deal for the NBA. And now you have taken another chip in your armor. You've taken down a notch.
Well, and you made the product less desirable. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like this is. I mean, I'm going to keep reiterating it. Adam Silver has to go. You've got to get rid of him. If you're the owner, you've got to get rid of him. You've got to clean house. You got to find a better way to do it because he hasn't accomplished the big expansion you were looking for. What are you looking at for TV deals? What do you feel good about? I guess ESPN. I guess. I mean, is ESPN even that great of a network anymore?
Not anymore.
Well, they were
no.
on the other night. They weren't even on Prime. They were on like Paramount Plus, I think. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like,
I mean, there's so many options. You've got to be able to find a way to be like, no, we're going to be a leader. You look at the NFL being on Netflix, good for them. They knew what they were doing, and finding ways to get in where people are at. You've got to have a leader with vision. And David Stern, for all of his faults, the dude had vision.
and and I'm
Well,
not.
Silver doesn't have a
I
damn
know they're
vision
two
at
different
all.
things, but to Marshall's point on the WWE, you get somebody like Triple H in there, and you can laugh all you want, or you can say it's not in the same category of a sport, or whatever. You brought somebody in that has a vision, and they are at another level because of that vision.
They are.
And
They're literally trend setting with every new thing that they do.
yeah,
They are first to do it.
yeah, and you have
The
something.
only ones who might not be the first to do it would be Live Golf.
Yeah. And you have something like the NBA, which is a national product, is a sport people have loved, and they are behind. They are behind things like the WWE that they shouldn't be. But give Triple H and give the people that are leading the WWE some credit. They saw the writing on the wall and said, "This is where we need to be, and this is what we need to do," and they did it.
I would argue that they killed themselves. They killed themselves when it comes to the sport. And the reason people have tuned out, I mean, listen, it's anecdotal. I don't know that you have any good research that's going to tell you exactly why people have tuned out. But I think you can make an argument that when it became a free throw shooting contest, people were like, do I really want to watch this? Do I want to watch James Harden
Too
shoot
much of a
20
good
free
thing is
throws
a bad
game?
thing, and it's the same thing that's happened in the NFL. And there's, I think, a little bit coming back. Is people? The exec said we want offense. Offense pays the bills. People want excitement, right?
Yeah.
And so we became a scorers league. If you can score points and you're going to the bucket and you're gonna get all the calls. And then people started going. When you start actually watching that play out, you go,
Yeah.
I don't really like this. You know what I mean? Like,
Doesn't look very good.
it's like I kind of want. I like what Michael Jordan was doing. The way he scored points and how he had to fight through some of those hard fouls and calls. I don't like how you're just handing it to this person. You know, he jumps in the air and somebody gets in his space and it's like people
It's
start
the same.
to,
It's the same shit you have with the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, what constitutes a foul? What constitutes roughing the passer?
right.
And I don't know how you play in today's NBA. I don't know how you play in today's NFL if you're a defensive player.
How do you legally tackle a quarterback at this point?
I have no clue. There's got to be a 2-inch space above the navel, but your head has to be 180 degrees southwest at the 97 longitude. And then
Like, was it Key and Peele? They have the skit where they have like a pillow they laid down. There's like a blanket.
yeah.
And that's the problem is people watched Tom Brady and Manning and all those that came before him.
Like, don't get me wrong. Something had to be done with
It
the
did.
amount of big hits
It
that were
did.
going on. Like, some of that stuff, there needed to be something.
They did.
To the extent that it's gone to, no.
Yeah, they watched
No,
all
you
that.
could have pumped the brakes, hey, bro,
Yes.
at least 10 years ago, in my opinion.
Yeah, they watched all that and they said, "Oh, I want more of this," which we all do. I want to see those passes. I want to see those things. And to your point, they were taking like you watch some of the clips on Tom Brady. Ooh, like that boy.
Well,
was,
Antoine Winfield knocked his ass out the very first play of his career.
Yeah.
Helmet goes flying. Tom Brady, to his credit, gets right
Sure.
back up, fire up the boys. But, I mean, it's not what we grew up with.
There's a middle ground, and they missed it.
Well, and
Granted,
the interesting thing.
CTE coming out the way it did not help anything.
Well, that's a whole
Yeah,
other podcast.
that changed.
Yeah,
that
that's
changed so
different. That's a
much.
ballgame.
That's a whole other topic.
That's what F the NFL. But we can talk about that in a different podcast.
And they screwed themselves with that.
Yeah.
But I just don't know how you defend in today's NBA and how you tackle in today's NFL.
You don't.
I don't think you do. And with the offense being the focal point, I think it lends itself to the stat cooking and guys missing shots. And it opens up more opportunity to do that because you're in more control of that. You have a better opportunity to cook things because you are going to have the ball more. And the more you have the ball, the more you have control, the more likely you have. That's why, like, if an NFL quarterback does anything that's questionable, has any ties, you immediately, like any ties to gambling, you immediately have to investigate the crap out of it and kick them out of the league.
100%.
Like it's not any sign. So I think we could probably go on and on about this. At the end of the day, the problem we're running into is that, listen, we all love sports. We want to know that what we're watching is legit.
Yeah.
We want to feel comfortable knowing that, hey, I don't have to question the integrity of the game because, listen, they're going to call it straight, and there's not guys intentionally cooking. The problem we have now is I don't think any of us feel that way. So
No.
definitely, I think we'll call it.
Yeah.
There, boys. Good episode. Dustin, you want to take us home?
Yeah. Hey, check us out. If you want to watch our full episodes, we're on Spotify, we're on YouTube. Please like and follow us. We get paid $10 for every follower. No, we don't, but please do it. If you like our short form
could.
contact, yeah, we could if you like enough. If you like to see Marshall saying the craziest stuff and just putting out the best content on college football, sports takes in general, and you like those little 30-second minute clips, follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram. If you don't want to see Mike, I have nothing for you because he's on everything. He's the best. But come like and follow everything. We'll do it again next week.
Love you
Peace.
guys.